Spoiler warning.
Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and today is my birthday as well as the 1-year anniversary of Fire Emblem Three Houses. And to celebrate that, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at the various characters, playable characters, and go ahead and put them on one of these tier list things. Because I actually considered doing this earlier, and I never got around to it, so we're going to do it as an excuse for the first anniversary. Yay! So we're just going to go through the various playable characters and some of the other more important NPCs, and go ahead and put them on this on a tier list. And yeah, I'm probably going to make a lot of people angry. This particular tier list maker that I found, it does not have every character. It doesn't have some of the villains like Kronya and Solon, but it has most of the other ones that I found that included them had like the characters split into time skip and pre-time skip variations, and I don't feel like separating them. I'm kind of factoring the characters in as themselves, so I thought it'd be easier to just do this. So yeah, like I said, probably gonna make some people angry, so let's just try and remember that this is just my opinion and the characters that I like. It's not necessarily indicative of, like, this isn't definitive, like this is the best characters or anything. This is just my opinion. So let's try not to attack Brandon too harshly, please. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this. Well, first things first, we need to add a row, and this is just going to be Byleth, because it's no secret, Byleth's my favorite. Byleth is my favorite. Oops. Did not need to do that. I've never used one of these before, so bear with me. Byleth is my favorite, and they are they're my favorite. So it's not even fair. We're just gonna put move Byleth up here, and I've only used male Byleth, so that's the primary one, but they're more or less the same character. And female Byleth gets points even though I haven't played with her, just because she can marry Ash, which is pretty nifty, and I'm angry that that's still not a thing we're allowed to do. So Byleths go in the Byleth tier. Otherwise they would be too powerful, because I like Byleth a lot, even though everyone complains about them, and I really like Byleth. Still very happy that they are in Smash It. I'm finally going to get my Byleth amiibo. I was playing 4D chess. That was my end game plan with getting Byleth into Smash all along. I just wanted the Byleth amiibo. You've been fooled. So next, next up is Seth, who before Three Houses came out, I did one of those like character sorter things absent-mindedly, and Seth ended up near the bottom for me. He just did not seem very interesting, and then when I played the game, he was very not friendly, and I was not happy with him, and surprise, surprise, he ended up being my second favorite character after Byleth. He actually beat out the two characters that I was expecting to be fighting for my number 2 slot, and he is just such an awesome character. He's a total sweetheart to everyone. He's got the big brother vibes. We gotta put him up here in S tier. Just absolutely love him. Seth for Faye win, please. Seriously. Next up, we have Flayn. I like Flayn a lot, not as much as Seth. I feel like she is like solid A tier. I like her a lot. She's just really fun and sweet. The only reason I'm not gonna put her and a few others in S tier is I feel like if I put too many people in S tier, it kind of dilutes the specialness. So we're only going to put like 3 people in S tier. Some of these characters I've thought about a lot, like Seth and the reasoning on it, and then other characters I'm just kind of making up as I go. So this is very messy and probably bad, but sorry. Oops. Hannemann and Manuela. I really like both of them. They're both very fun characters. Not really my favorites, but I feel like they're both solid B characters. They have a really fun dynamic together. They have some interesting supports outside of it, but I do feel like their strongest ones are together. They play off each other very well. Very interesting characters. And then we got old Gilbert over here. Do people like Gilbert? I don't. I was kind of neutral on him, and then like I heard the reasoning for why he left, and I was like, and he's just not the bestest character. I can kind of understand why his motivations, but I don't really agree with them. So into D tier for Gilbert. Honestly, I should probably like make an E and F tier, and F tier is where villains would go, and then Gilbert would probably be just slightly above that, but we'll be generous and put him in D. Next up, we have Alois. Alois is another character I was not expecting to like very much, but he's got that big brother energy. I like him a lot. He's actually a really funny, interesting character. I also like stupid puns. I really like how loyal he is. He's just a fun character. I like him. He's an A tier character in my opinion. I just wish that he wasn't a S support option, eating up one of those S supports, because I feel like on the male side, the S support, the male S supports are not very good pre-DLC, and he should not have had one of those, and especially since it's purely platonic. Everyone knows what we want out of an S support, and that's not really it. We definitely should have just gotten someone else like a Ash as an S support option. But overall, Alois is just a really fun, cool character. I really like him, so he's an A tier. We got Katherine. She's how do I feel about Katherine? She's all right. I don't have like super strong feelings about her. In my Silver Snow run, I used only church characters, and then like in the last map I subbed in like 2 random units because I didn't have enough characters to fill the map. It was church characters and Ash, but you get the idea. Katherine was pretty good, but she was not the most overpowered unit, so I don't know, I appreciate her loyalty. I really like that, but I didn't like her that much. So I feel like she just kind of she's cool. I don't have anything really super negative against her. She's just not really my favorite. I kind of feel the same about Shamir. I like her actually slightly more, surprisingly. I did not expect to, but she was really solid on my Silver Snow route. That might just be because I made her a bow knight, and I really like bow knights, and bow knights are the best class in the game, and you can't change my mind on that. So she goes in C, just slightly above Katherine, but they're friends, so you don't separate them. And we have Papa Geralt. You could probably guess, the characters I feel really strongly about. I'm like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my dad. Geralt falls into that category, so I really like him. We're gonna put him up here in A tier. I know he's not always the best person, but I feel like once he had Byleth, he really did everything to try and protect Byleth and raise them, and he did his best. You can tell that he genuinely cares about Byleth, and I really appreciate that. I feel like we need more positive father figures in media, so just really love Papa Geralt. Like Seth, I'm very much hoping he gets into face sometime soon, hopefully as a GHB. I don't see him being a banner unit. unless they do a duo hero with him and Mom. But I feel like A is just right where Papa Geralt goes. Like I said, I know he wasn't always the greatest person to like Alois and Leone and stuff, but I feel like he really did genuinely try with Byleth, and so I really appreciate that. Just really love him. Yeah. So next we have Lady Raya. I'm generally not that big on like religious characters, especially in like RPGs and stuff. In games, usually the church is super evil, but I kind of like the Church of Cerros. They're cool, and I appreciate a lot of what they're doing. I appreciate a lot of their motivations, even if I don't necessarily agree with all of them. And I like Raya as a character. I thought she was really interesting, and I would put her in like B. She's not like my favorite character, but she's up there. I like her. I find her interesting. And Rodrigue, the Shield of Vargas. He is not the best character, but I liked him. I liked him. We'll just go ahead and put him in B. I'm not really sure why he is included in this particular list, since he is not a playable character. But good old Felix's dad, he can go in B. You know, he's not my favorite character, but I did like him a lot and his role in the story, particular in Azure Moon, which I am a Blue Lions boy, so you're probably going to see some Blue Lions bias on this list, because that's my favorite one. Speaking of, next we're at the Lords, and we start off with Edelgard. I am not an Edelgard fan. I appreciate her viewpoint. She actually did grow on me a lot from where I originally stood when I first played the game, and I did all the routes over time, and I ended with her route, and I do see where she's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it, and on some things I relate to her to a off-putting degree that I do not like. I don't like the things that she makes me question about myself. I'm gonna put her in D, definitely above Gilbert. Honestly, I was originally gonna do a joke. I was gonna make F tier and put her in there, but honestly, like I said, she grew on me. I appreciate where she's coming from. She's not a character for me. I just cannot get behind her as a character, but I appreciate her. And D is about as high as I'm willing to go. F tier is definitely where Kronia lives, so I think Edelgard is definitely above Kronia. But next we have the boy Dimitri. From day one, when they first revealed the other house leaders, I was Team Dimitri, and then when the time skip happened, the time skip trailer happened, and everyone was losing their mind about how Dimitri became really cool looking, I was like, I was already Team Dimitri. Love him. He's my favorite lord, not counting like Avatar lords like Corrin. I love Dimitri. He is definitely S tier. Him and Ash were the two characters I thought I liked the most. Surprisingly, he ended up behind Ash and Seth, but he is still, like, aside from Byleth, like a top 3 character for me. And then right behind him is Claude, who is probably my second favorite lord. I'm gonna put him like right top of A tier. Honestly, the only reason he's not S tier is because I'm making an arbitrary rule that I only want 3 in S tier, so it's special. Otherwise, Claude is like 4th on the list. So Claude, really cool. I do wish they had done a little more with him for his route. I feel like they didn't show off his like sneaky, cunning strategist side that much, because like his little plots and ploys, I was like, well, I could have come up with that. I actually think his like coolest plot, his coolest gambit that he ever did was actually in Dimitri's route. the whole scheme at Deirdre, that was really cunning, and that's my favorite Claude moment. I'm like, wow, this is cooler than anything Claude did in his own route. But overall, Claude is just a fantastic character. Really like him. Now we have the Snake Man. We got Hubert. He is a slimy, villainous boy, but there's something about him I respect, man. I just find him really interesting as a character. I put him in B tier. Like, there's just something about him I respect. Like, he's like slimy, but he owns it, and I don't know. There's all I can really say is I respect him in a weird way. So Hubert goes to B tier. Next we have Ferdie Birdie. He is not my favorite character. I don't know. I think he's got some like kind of. He's got really good intentions. He's kind of cool, but he just never stood out too much to me. I don't hate him. I don't love him. He's just Ferdie. He goes C tier. He didn't stand out that much for me as a combat unit either. He kind of died a lot and made me rewind maps, and that was annoying. But he's cool. He's nothing really offensive about him. He's just Ferdie. Linhart, the sleepy boy. He's just really funny. I'm like, he says a lot of stuff where I'm like, yeah, that's me. So Linhart is cool. I like Linhart a good deal. We can go ahead and put him. He's up in upper B tier probably. And Caspar, he's fun. He's loud, a little annoying, but he's funny. He's got a good heart. Again, C is like it's because it's near the bottom. It looks like C is like bad. It'd probably look better if I added those other tiers, but C is really not bad. It's just kind of like, yeah, they're average. There's nothing really bad that I dislike about them or anything. So it looks like I'm being mean by putting Caspar and Ferdie and them in C tier, but really it just means that, I don't really have strong feelings about them either way. Bernie. First of all, the time skip haircut I do not like. I feel like she's one of a handful of characters who just looked better pre-time skip. I do not like what she did with her hair. Bernie, I feel I like her, and I find her relatable as someone who also does not want to leave the house, someone who also gets anxious about a lot of things. But I feel like sometimes she's just a little too over the top and too exaggerated, and it comes across as a little annoying. So I feel like she's in B tier. That I don't know. Sometimes she just feels too much like a caricature, and it's a little grating sometimes. I'm just like, Bernie, I love you, but please just chill. I like her in B. She's really sweet though, and I like her, but just she can just be a little annoying sometimes. Dorothea, another character I just don't really have super strong feelings about. She's kind of mean to Ferdie. I get why. I get her sad backstory and everything, but it never. I was just kind of like, okay. But she does have that really good line in Azure Moon if you don't recruit Ferdie and is sad. Go ahead and put her just in C tier. She's fine. Petra. Petra was really good in my Crimson Flower run. She's just a cool character, fun character. The only thing really wrong with her is her paralog sucks. Her paralog with Bernie has terrible rewards, and I'm still upset about the bait and switch it pulls on you. We'll just put her right next to Bernie. Dedue. Dedue is just so cool. I love Dedue. He's another character who I would honestly put in S tier, but I'm making arbitrary rules. He is up there. He is above Papa Geralt, right under Claude. Man, Dedue is so awesome. There's just the only thing really wrong is like I wish he actually joined you on I wish you could like get him on other routes, but like I get why you can't. I don't know. I can't really think of anything really negative to say about Dedue. He's just such a sweetheart. He's just a sweet guy, and he doesn't deserve a lot of the stuff. And when you see characters bully him, you want to beat him up. But unfortunately, they did not include, despite there being brawling in the game as a weapon type, you are not allowed to just pick fights with random people in the monastery. That is frowned upon, and Seth would scold you if you did it. So unfortunately, you cannot defend Dedue's honor, which is sad. Next we have Felix. I feel like Felix is like the embodiment of, you have a point, but you don't have to be a jerk about it. That's Felix. Felix is oftentimes, I'm like, you're right, but man, the way you worded it is just really mean. But yeah, like Felix usually right. And do I like him more than Raya? I feel like I'm gonna put him above Raya, mostly just because he would get annoyed if I put him next to his dad. And here we have the sweetest boy. We have Ash. Love him. He goes right in between Seth and Dimitri. Absolutely adore him. He's just a sweetheart. No real negatives about him. The only thing that I dislike is I liked his pre-time skip haircut better than his post-time skip haircut. Similar to Bernie. He just lost the floof from his hair, and that's sad. It's the real tragedy of Three Houses is Ash's lost floof. Also, he's an archer primarily, and I love me some archers. Archers are the best class. So, Sylvain, he's another character where I'm like, wow, you are kind of a jerk, but like, I get where you're coming from. I don't agree with it, but like, sometimes Sylvain can be like really cool. I feel like he's another like B tier. Like, he's like right between B and C. If I divided these in like B minus and C plus, he'd be right in that area where it's like, yeah, you could kind of put him either way. He's mostly getting bumped up off of Blue Lion's bias, if we're being honest. Mercedes, not my favorite of the Blue Lions, but she is still like a super sweetheart. She's the team mom. I like her. She's kind of another one where I don't really have anything super negative about her. I do like her. But she's also just like not my favorite. I feel like she can chill with Sylvain up here, right at the bottom of the B tier. And then we have Annette. Annette is probably my favorite Three Houses girl. Not counting Sothis. I like Sothis a lot. But Annette is just a super sweetheart. Her singing is really cool, really cute. Please stop moving that. I just want to put her up here. Do I like her? Yeah, I like her over Flane, I think. But she's my favorite Three Houses girl. She's just super sweet, and her magic can get to bonkers levels. Oh, and Darkflyer, the Darkflyer DLC class was made for her. Like, she's so much better as that than a Gremory, which is what I had on my first run. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I did a Azure Moon Maddening run as my 5th run, and I actually just finished it today. Well, actually yesterday now, but I did that, and it lived up to the name at some points, and at other points it was mind-numbingly easy. But being able to put Annette into a flying mage class was just super good. If I did a non-DLC class run again, I'd probably put her in Dark Knight over Gremory, because that being able to poke someone and then just Canto away, really solid. Next we have Ingrid, and she is not like my favorite of the Blue Lines, but she hard carried my the last few maps on my maddening run, and wow, she was just dodge tanking everything. Her and Ash, they like start with like super low strength, but if you get them up by like I reclassed her into Brigand for a while to get Death Blow, and she was getting strength growths there along with Ash. Both of them were getting strength growths there, and then I was feeding them some energy drops, and boy, once they get that strength up a little bit, they go nuts. As a character, Ingrid has a really cool design. Really the only thing I don't like is like her support with Dedue is a little not the best. But other than that, I like Ingrid as a character. She can chill with Sylvain and Mercedes and B for Blue Lions. Next up is Raphael. I did not think I was going to like Raphael, but he is actually one of the sweetest characters in Three Houses. Oh my goodness, what a sweet guy. He can go with Alois and characters that I did not expect to like. He's at some points he's kind of just like, oh yeah, I train and I eat, and that's all I do, which is kind of like a stereotypical the big muscle guy trope. But wow, his joint paralogue with Ignatz is just like, oh wow, this is like just the sweetest, most like emotionally mature character in the entire game. We love Raphael. He is just such a sweetheart. Definitely up in A tier over there. And next up is our good boy Ignatz. Before I played my Golden Deer run, when I had only played my Blue Lions run, my brother, who actually started with Golden Deer, messaged me and he was like, "You remind me of Ignatz." And I was like, I don't even know how to take that. Is that a compliment? Is that an insult? I don't know. Because I did not think I just kind of felt like Ignatz was a character who was just kind of there during my Blue Lions run. But Ignatz, when I used him in my Golden Deer run, he was actually pretty cool. He's a pretty interesting character, and I actually do find him kind of relatable in some ways. I feel like the one thing is I feel like a lot of his supports are kind of just the same. They're all kind of like, oh well, I don't want to be a knight. I want to be a painter. I want to be an artist, but my family wants me to be a knight. And then the person's like, well, you can be a knight who paints, and then he's just like surprised Pikachu face, and I'm just like, yeah, a lot of his supports felt like they kind of went the same direction and weren't the most interesting. But other than that, Ignatz is a pretty cool character, and when he was an assassin, he just destroyed everything, the crit knots. So I'm going to put him in B tier. He was a lot more interesting than I expected. Not really my favorite character, but I no longer consider being compared to him kind of like, are you trying to make fun of me kind of deal. Ignatz is cool. Laurens. Everyone memes on Laurens, but I think Laurens has some of the best character growth in Three Houses. People just don't give him the chance because his funny hairstyle and off-putting pre-time skip views. Seriously, pre-time skip, he's a real jerk. Not to sugarcoat it, but in his A supports, he becomes like just the sweetest guy, and I really like him. Really cool character. You just love to see that character growth. And also there was a funny part. I didn't recruit everyone on my first run of Blue Lions because I didn't really understand how it worked completely. But on my Maddening run, I recruited everyone, so I got to see new interactions that I hadn't seen before. And there was a point where he's like, I guess Claude left everything to the kingdom. He was like, I knew that Claude wasn't fit to join or to lead the alliance. Look what he's done. And you get the option to call him out for siding with the kingdom before Claude does because he joined your class. And he's just like, oh. And that was just really funny. I was like, wow, that's hilarious. You get to call Laurens out on his little bit of hypocrisy there, and that's really funny. But overall, he's just really fun and really cool character to see him grow and develop. Now we have Lysitia. I know a lot of people really love her. I'm not her biggest fan, but like I see where she's coming from. I feel like sometimes she's just a little too abrasive, but I get it. My brother actually does not like Lysitia at all, and he called her the most unimportant character in Three Houses. He said she was totally plot irrelevant, and I was like, no, that's not actually true. She's actually one of the more plot relevant characters, if anything. Especially if you play and you have not played Crimson Flower yet. She gives insight, and she's not my favorite character, but I do think she's pretty cool. I relate to just wanting to eat sweets all day. Yeah, she's just solid B tier. She's not my favorite, but next we have Marianne. Honestly, my B tier is probably going to look more like what my C tier should, but just a lot of these characters I just like. I like, but don't like necessarily hate. Marianne, I almost feel like I should move Lysitia down one tier, but it's okay. Marianne, she's a sweetheart. She's super sweet and really cool, really cute. But I actually kind of forget that she's there. Sometimes she's just so quiet. I'm like, oh, this is probably what people thought of me when I was younger. They were like, oh yeah, Brandon's here too. He just doesn't speak up at all. But I don't know. I don't like hate her or anything. I actually probably like her a little more than Lysitia. Just slightly, but like I don't. Like I said, I just kind of forget she's there sometimes. Next we have Hilda. She's really fun, really funny, relatable. She's a cool character. I like her a good deal. I like her more than Felix. I actually like her more than Hannemann and Manuela, I think. Do we like her more than Ignatz? Yeah, just slightly more than Ignatz. Leone. I don't like Leone. I know that like she's got decent supports with other characters, but I didn't find her other character supports that interesting, and her Byleth support is utter garbage. And she accuses you of being ungrateful for Captain Geralt, and meanwhile all she's doing is being jealous of you about you having Captain Geralt, while meanwhile she has an entire village of people supporting her, and it just really smacks of hypocrisy. I am not a fan of Leone. You go with Gilbert and Edelgard. Do I like her more than Edelgard? Slightly. I wish she kept her pre-time skip haircut because I actually liked that one a little more. Yeah, I'm not wild about her. Cyril, let's just move on to Cyril. Cyril is okay. He was actually really strong in my Three Houses run. I made him a Wyvern Lord and gave him axes and bows, and he was pretty good. Not my best unit, but he was all right. I don't as a character he's all right. I appreciate his loyalty. Very much similar to Katherine in that regard, but I feel like he doesn't have enough. Like I just felt like all his conversations were just not that interesting, except maybe his Seth one. Oh, and his Manuela one was all right too. He's just not a character that I'm like super interested in. I'd put him under Dorothea. We got Yuriza. I don't know. He was all right. He's not my favorite. I relate to him wanting to eat sweets though. And he was really good in Crimson Flower. But other than that, I just don't have a whole lot to say about him. I know he's like sad and everything, but he's just there. Anna, I'm not wild about Anna in any Fire Emblem game. I don't find her gimmick that interesting or funny. I don't even think that she is the best Anna. I don't like this version. I think her hair is too pink. If that is a possible complaint. I prefer the darker red-haired Anna, and that's really all I have to say on Anna, is that I am not a huge Anna fan. Now we have the wolves, the DLC characters. Like I said, if I had like the enemy characters on here, there'd be like another tier with Kronya at the bottom. Solon would be at the top of those characters, and then Talus and like Cornelia in the middle. Solon is really funny because, first of all, he was really funny in the Smash reveal trailer for Byleth. He just made some funny noises. And similarly, there's this one line where he goes, "I am Solon, the savior of all." And the delivery on that line is just really funny to me. So among the not very cool villain characters, I find Solon kind of funny in a way, so he would be at the top of that, and then Kronya at the bottom, because she's the worst. She's just literally the worst. I do not like Kronya. Stupid design, stupid character, stupid everything. And also there was a long time where there's like 6 months where she was on every defense team in Aether Raids, and I was very annoyed with that. So just stupid all around. Her slot in Fae should have gone to Geralt. Geralt should have been the first Three Houses Grand Hero battle, and I will stand by that to forever. Rant aside, now we're on the wolves, the last characters, and I did not expect to like the wolves beyond like Yuri. I was excited for Yuri, but honestly, all of them have a pretty cool design. I just didn't think they'd be that interesting characters, but they are actually all really cool. I like all of them. Yuri was, like I said, he was the one I was the most interested in. Love his design. I was part of why I did my maddening runs is I wanted to see the wolves beyond their side story. And for a while, Yuri was actually the one I was least interested in. But then towards the end, he picked back up. I like him a lot. His S support is actually really sweet. Do I like him more than Flame? I feel like I like him like right with like Flame and Annette. He's like right in between. I can't decide if I like him more than Annette or not, so I'll just put him right under. Next we have Balthas. He was the one I was expecting to like the least, but he's actually a really fun character, really funny. There were just a lot of times where I was just like, "Oh, Balthas, please do not pick fights with people." He was like, "I'm gonna go knock some sense into Dimitri." I'm like, "Balthas, sweetheart, no. I know you're the king of grappling, but Dimitri will crack your skull like an egg. Please do not pick a fight with him." Really fun character. I like him a lot. He's right there. And then we got Constance. Constance and Happy, they're both really cool characters. I do feel like they're like gimmick of Constance's like personality switch gimmick and Happy's monster summoning gimmick. They're just a little too over the top for me, kind of like how I feel about Bernie, where they're interesting, but they're just a little too exaggerated. But I like them both. I feel like they're just both right next to Balthas. I liked them both. I liked all three of the wolves more than I expected to, but they're just all solid characters. I liked them all. Between them, I actually think I like Happy more than Constance, just slightly. I actually like Constance and Happy. They have a really fun dynamic together. I'm very upset that I did not get their paired ending. I got Constance went with Happy went with Balthas. Wait, no, yeah, it was Constance went with Balthas. I was very upset about that. I wanted their paired ending, and I am big sad for it. So, anyway, Brandon's rambling aside, we now have Brandon's Three Houses character tier list. And of course, we have Byleth at the top. We have Brandon's 3 next favorite characters besides Byleth. Then we have all of the best all my favorite characters besides the top 3. And then we have a lot of characters who I just think are really cool. And some characters that are just kind of like, I don't really have super strong feelings either way. And then my least favorites. I am sorry for fans of these characters. Please do not take it too personally. They just aren't characters for me. But yeah, these are just my favorites. Hopefully you guys found it interesting. Gives you some insight on why I like some of these characters, why I dislike some of these characters, and at the very least, you probably know about where my priorities are in regards to saving in Fae now. The one interesting thing that really stands out to me is look at these 3. We've got Alois, we got Raphael, we got Balthas. Heck, I would even put like Dedu in there. We've got these strong guys. I don't generally like that kind of archetype of character where it's like these strong manly men. Not really a archetype for me, but they were all really cool. Three Houses made some really cool big, like, strong man characters, and I'm just like, wow. And they're all different. They're all really different, but they're all really cool. They're all really interesting. So, changed my stance on that a little bit. Still, not generally the type of character that I would gravitate towards, but they're all really cool. And still just genuinely shocked that Seth of all characters became my number 2. But we love the stern but supportive older brother type. He's just here to look out for everyone, and I love him. But yeah, so again, please don't yell at me too much for Brandon's opinions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon, and apparently the entire cast of Three Houses, or all the characters beside that actually matter, signing out.